Sunday Night Fight fans, what's up? It's that time again. That's right, it's Sunday night and it's time to fight. This is AmiPolizeiFunk. I am amped up for the last show of 2012. Baby, here we go. This is the fourth and final qualifier tournament show. We got two best of threes coming up for you right after we introduce my co-casters. First, hailing from I don't know exactly where. It's that party animal himself. CallMeSarge, what's up, man?
Hey, Ami, it's a pleasure to be back on Sunday Night Fights. I'm excited as well. I got the beer, I got the scotch, and I'm ready to go.
Yeah. Where are you from?
Let's just say England and leave it at that.
Well, that's a big island. You know, that could be anywhere. Come on, give me a town, or at least close. I mean, you don't live like on a farm with sheep, or do you?
No, mate, I live in Southend-on-Sea. It's the Essex equivalent of New Jersey.
All right, sweet. Well, we got all the centers of the world covered. We got Berlin here. We got London there. Is it London? That's London, right?
Yeah, near enough to London, as makes no difference.
All right, we got London there. And, of course, hailing from the West Coast in sunny California to complete our dominance of the entire globe, it's Yoink!
Ho, 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 biatches. That's right, the sun never sets on the Sunday Night Fights empire. We're around the world, 24 hours a day, playing Company of Heroes, bringing you the greatest matches on planet Earth. And this, the fourth and final qualifying tournament, is sure to excite and titillate. We've got a couple of really great series coming up tonight, and I can hardly wait. Ami, can you?
Oh, man, I was watching Cepha play against Macaroni. It went to 3 games in round 3. That was a nail-biter. He almost won that first game down to 5 VP, but couldn't close it out. Macaroni's Wehrmacht came back. Ceph was hitting around 300 viewers, warming up the crowd for this excellent show tonight. So he managed, after winning as Wehrmacht, to then choose Americans and succeed with Americans where he had previously failed. We have the legend, Cepha, against another COH legend, Guderian, coming up in a best of 3 tonight. That's one bracket. Other bracket is going to be DevM versus Freestyler. We'll talk a little bit more about those when we go to the bracket view, but right now, I want to say 2012 has been a hell of a year for us, SNF fans. Thank you for making this our biggest, grandest year. We launched Kotu.org, and we launched Season 4 of SNF, and we are running up to the Company of Heroes 2. Yoink, it has been a good year for us.
You know, it really has. And Company of Heroes, it is our favorite game. It's 6 years old, and yet it still manages to shine. We've had more viewers than we've ever had in a Sunday Night Fight season ever. Because as our viewers know, as we send this game off into the sunset, it still can generate amazing games. All 4 of these, well, the 3 qualifying tournaments we've had so far have been full of surprises and delightful games, and I think we're going to see the exact same thing tonight as we bid this beautiful old gray lady farewell, because in January, we all know big things are going to be happening for Company of Heroes 2.
That's right. The inside people on Relic call it the CB. That's the closed beta of Company of Heroes 2. All right, NTD, let's bring us over to the bracket and talk a little bit more about what's happened previously today. What you're going to see tonight is the round 4 of this qualifier tournament. The first 3 rounds have already been played. Round 4, guys, I can tell you, is being played right now. One of the sides of the bracket started a little late, and, man, Relic servers, there's like almost 12,000 people online. We're 500 players short of breaking the all-time most players online right now in Company of Heroes. Sarge, this is nuts. Can you believe that this game is so popular after 6 years?
It's just a testament to the quality of the game and, to be honest, the quality of the community that goes with it. And I'm just really happy to see COH still being as successful as it is, and hopefully Kotu will be equally successful.
All right, what you guys are looking at here is the overall Sunday Night Fights Season 4 bracket, and look at that. All those names are filled in. It's like bittersweet for me. I can't believe that we're this far along, and that, you know, after tonight we're only going to have 5 players left in this competition. That's it. Right now we have 7 players left. We're going to lose 2 tonight, and then we're going to be down to 5. And the winner of next week's contender bout, that'll be on January 6th. That's going to be a hot one. The winner of that one will go on to face Aimstrong, our top #1 seed and first qualifier in the left side semifinal. And then the week after that, we have friends and practice partners, 2 of the best players in the game right now, Symbiosis and Algiaz, otherwise known as Fireball, in the right bracket. They'll be going at it in the second semifinal. And so, you know, Aimstrong's just sitting here waiting for his opponent. Who's he going to get? It's going to be one of the 4 guys we're going to be watching tonight. And then we'll be down to the final 4, and they'll be on their way to that GTX 680. That is just a fat, high-end, modern NVIDIA graphics card. We thank you for their sponsorship. Also, of course, from Relic and THQ and Kotu.org, the sponsor of this great tournament. Little shout-outs to everybody there. It's like I'm shouting out myself because I am Kotu.org. And if you're not registered, you know, it's amazing. We have 1,600 viewers on the show, and we have like 800 members on Kotu.org. So what's up? All y'all's got to register on Kotu.org and join in the forums there. We're going to be unlocking new features of the site as the weeks go by and as we run up to Kotu. NTD has zoomed us into this bracket here. You can see that last week's Sunday Night Fights contender bout competitor Titty Twister went down in a hard-fought match against, you know, like pro coming out of the woodworks, veteran pro, Guderian, originally a Russian player. He's lived in England and China. Guderian is a household name in Company of Heroes. It is fantastic. You know, he enters his first SNF tournament, and here he is under the bright lights of the grand stage, you know, coming on to the show, ready to fight Cepha, another legend of the game. That'll be the series we'll get to probably second, and they're battling right now as we speak. And then in the bottom bracket, you can see DevM just ran through everybody. I mean, this tournament really, Sarge and Yoink, has been about watching DevM. Do you guys think that this is his tournament to lose?
Well, let me just jump in here and say that we have seen DevM in all 4 tournaments now. I mean, he came out strong in the first qualifying tournament, and he was beaten by Symbiosis in the quarterfinals of that tournament. Then, in the second qualifier tournament, he had to face Symbiosis again and lost to Symbiosis in the finals of that qualifying tournament, which allowed Symbi to be one of the final 4. And then in the third qualifying tournament, maybe he didn't have such a great time because he lost to Titty Twister early on, like in the second round. And here he is again now in the semifinals of this contender, 4th contender tournament. I think this is going to be his game this time.
Yeah, it is all about... Go for it, Sarge. Sorry.
I'm sorry. DevM has tasted defeat, and that is going to be a bitter, bitter drink to drink. He needs to, he really needs to put this to bed now. But you know, I think that motivation of 3 defeats in a row is going to be so strong that he can't. He's just going to want it so badly.
We had a wonderful series in round 3 at the very bottom of this bracket between 2 German players. You have the sort of veteran player Freestyler, who's by far the most popular and well-known German player. He's been on Sunday Night Fights before. He beat Cepha in the most incredible comeback we've ever seen. He was down 2-0 last season in Season 3, and then, you know, he defeated that Stag Spam in like a 50-minute game that will just go down in the record books for just, you know, notorious Company of Heroes game. It's still talked about today. And then he came back in the next 2 games and overcame Cepha. That was an amazing like contender bout from Season 3. And so he's the veteran German player. He's got a huge following. Shout out to HQCOH. That's where his sort of home base is. That's the German-speaking Company of Heroes website. And so he went up against like the new kid on the block, which is Shevu Lucky Strike. No Lucky Strike, actually. And Shevu No Lucky Strike was on our Contender Bout show 2 weeks ago because he had an incredible run with lots of great upsets. So it was like the new kid on the block versus the old school vet to decide who's the best in Germany and who's going to represent Deutschland here on SNF tonight. And it was, you know, like Lucky Strike won the first game. It was a really tough game. Highly recommend that replay. And then, you know, Freestyler won game 2, and then they went all the way to game 3, and Freestyler edged it out, man. The, you know, the veteran decision making and calm nerves of Freestyler won out the end. So that's what we're looking at. DevM and Freestyler. Yoink, if you wouldn't mind sitting out on the bench for this first game, I would like to get the party started with CallMeSarge. What do you think?
Yes, sir. I'm going to be sitting it out, but I am definitely going to be watching. I cannot wait to get this game started, so you two have fun.
All right, if NTD would take us in-game, they did the veto system. They both, each player vetoed 2 maps, and, you know, you give the players the choice to veto. You'd think they're going to wind up on Semois, right, or maybe Angleville, but check it out. Here we are on Bois du Châtelet. That's right. This is the map created by Uncle Sam, and it's a custom map. It's one of the 2 custom maps that we're featuring in Sunday Night Fights Season 4. Sarge, this might be all new to you, man. I hope you've got the map installed. You all ready to go here?
Yeah, no, I've been paying close attention over the last few weeks, and I've got to say I'm quite a fan of this map. I've been liking Uncle Sam's map work for a while. I think it's going to be a good game.
This is like this is the Darth Vader of COH maps. It's doom and gloom and burning trees and yeah, I love it. I mean, like big late game tanks fighting it out on that central road. Really wonderful map. Let's see how the allies do and Axis do. This is DevM as allies, man. Whoa, scare. You be afraid of this. Be very afraid. DevM's got the best early game allies in the business. He can put you out in 12, 13 minutes. He does it commonly. Let's see if he can do it here. Sarge, are you paused on 5 seconds? Are you ready to rock?
Yeah, let's do this.
All right, NTD, our observer extraordinaire, is also paused. Here you go. Pick your transcode resolution. We got the full gamut thanks to Twitch TV. Thank you also to Twitch TV for featuring us on their homepage. That's right, you can watch us from Twitch TV's homepage with our little description, our little thumbnail. That's very cool. We welcome any new viewers that might be joining us for the very first time. This is Company of Heroes. This is the victory lap. We're paused at 5 seconds. Here we go. We're going to unpause in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, unpause. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And here, like DevM's allies, seriously, you just... He will push you off. He uses a Jeep better than anybody else, and his early game, he will overrun you in the early game by just pushing you and not just winning engagements, but dominating engagements.
I agree, and I think Freestyler has to be aware of this. I think he's going to be of the mentality that if he can hang on, make it through the first 15 minutes of the game, then he stands a lot better chance of being able to close it out from there.
That is how you beat DevM, and that's how you win in general as Wehrmacht. The longer that you can hang around as you build veterancy, you can buy your vet from the Comcraft Center, and eventually your units are popping out brand new units, super strong Vet 2, Vet 3. And so, yeah, the longer you can survive, if you can weather the storm, that is the Portuguese early game here from this kid wonder, DevM, which of course stands for Damn Evil Vicious Mouse. If you can last more than 15 minutes, your chances start to increase the longer you stick around.
What do you think of the capping orders here, Ami? I mean, this is what we're seeing here has been fairly traditional, a kind of even split between left and right.
Well, there's a lot of discussion about where the Wehrmacht should go on Bois du Châtelet, because we've seen all different combinations. You have 3 VPs and you have 3 areas. You have a far left area that's got high ammo and high fuel, and you've got a far right area that has high ammo and high fuel. And then you have the center, which is this big, wide, red cover road. It's like a nightmare retreat path. You have the center VP. There's open line of sight for tanks and easy vehicle movement along the center. So the center is just hugely important. If you can control the center, you can shift your army left or right to try to either harass the corners or counter any harassment that comes in. So where the Wehrmacht should go, whether it's better for them to try to set up on the left and then move middle, or if it's better, like Aimstrong showed us in the first SNF contender bout, if it's better to just like make a camp in the middle and prevent all rifle flanks and then expand from there, or whether it's better to go for the right. So you've got a lot of different options here, and we've seen Wehrmacht play it a lot of different ways, and it looks like Freestyler, with this Schwimmwagen opening, is kind of going for everything at once, which is also very interesting. This is viable for Wehrmacht, because you can basically just decide to bring the bulk of your army wherever you're successful, wherever the allies are not. So he's just sort of feeling it out as he goes.
The Schwim is such a great engineered harassment tool, and it really forces Dev to bring the rifles over to address it.
I was little time check for NTD here. We're at 3:09, 10, 11, 12, 13. The Schwimmwagen played as well in the games of Lucky Strike versus Freestyler. And the thing with the Schwimmwagen, you know, unlike the bike, it can reverse and it's got more health, so it's really hard to kill.
Check out this engagement in the center. I would have thought the Volks would have the upper hand in this long-range green cover shootout, but the Rifles are holding their own.
Yeah, this is a coin toss, but the balance is about to be tipped by the rest of the Wehrmacht forces. Look at Freestyler's awareness, setting up the MG to cover the rifles that he knew would be coming for the right, and they walk straight into it. Very nice prediction. He wasn't able, though, to deal with this rifle squad coming for the left, and now he's a bit surrounded. Guys on all sides. Let's see if he can hold out.
I don't know, this is starting to look a little bit sticky. There's another rifle squad coming in from the north as well. Major reinforcements arriving at the center.
The first rifle squad that tried to cross out of green cover that had been fighting for so long, as they crossed that road, they just got torn up. And now it's wonderful that he didn't retreat. Wow, some Volks perished there entirely. A new Volk squad is going to come and try to rescue this MG. He's down. These two rifles are all over it. DevM, of course, did not retreat the rifles. Wow, the Schwimmwagen's about to go too. And this is exactly what we're talking about. This is DevM at 4 minutes and 40 seconds, putting himself in a tremendous advantage.
And that really turned in over a couple of seconds. It looked very, very tight, and then all of a sudden he had the upper hand.
Look at DevM's use of his rifles. Each one of these squads, 2 guys, 3 guys, 3 guys, they're all practically dead. But he dominated the engagement. He won it to such an extent that he had enough extra guys to capture that Wehrmacht MG. And now that MG is pointing at Freestyler's face, and you know, I can't imagine, this is the kind of like early knockout punch that DevM delivers, and when do you see people coming back from this? Maybe once Symbiosis came back from some kind of early loss like this, but it almost never happens.
I just wanted to jump in here, guys, and say that, you know, you guys didn't notice that DevM did not build a second engineer. He used his first manpower to put a second rifle squad on the field instead.
Ah, good stuff. We've seen that one engineer, you know, heavy rifle build earlier in the game, but I haven't seen it in a very long time. Oh man, another Wehrmacht squad is destroyed. That first Flamer Pios, man, they're expensive. That's the first 50 munis. Annihilated. Those can be a great anti-infantry unit, and they are lost. And Freestyler just, you know, that's another thing that DevM, he disposed of his opponents so quickly that he had like an hour and a half to just chill out, put his feet up, you know, get a drink, have some food, while meanwhile, you know, Freestyler was in a best of 3 with his, you know, German counterpart Lucky Strike, playing, you know, going the distance in long games. So DevM is fresh, and Freestyler is probably a little fatigued, and it's really showing here.
He's got a complete stranglehold on the map now, and it's really hard to see what Freestyler can do. Freestyler's just taken so many losses. You can't take losses like that at this stage of the game.
DevM's got 5 rifle squads. They have bars. They're getting triaged up. They took so much damage but did such amazing work. Now they're getting the rewards. The medics in the triage center are healing them up. And let's see if they can get... Whoa! What happened there?
Takes out the MG.
Lost that MG trying to retreat. All right. Well, that's good for Freestyler. It's a very big break because the MG in combination with those rifles. See, this is, you know, DevM's strength, but it's also his Achilles heel. Sometimes he's just too aggressive. Without any rifle support, he should have gotten that MG out of there much earlier.
Agreed, and he's really going to have to fight hard to claw this back now. It's really kind of hard to see what he could do. He's got a lot. Freestyle's got a lot of fuel in the bank, 138, 140 almost. But
the sniper's plugging away. Oh, but he has to retreat with the rifles behind him. Tough retreat and dies! Bars on retreating snipers are so fantastic. Oh, man, another punch to the gut, and Freestyler throws it in right there. He knew that without the sniper, he had no opportunity to come back. His entire map was falling, and DevM knocks out Freestyler in 7 minutes and 59 seconds.
It's just an outstanding performance from DevM. You have to give the guy credit. He does what he does best. He had his plan, he executed, it was successful. This is what SNF fights are all about, is getting it right first time and getting it done.
The first engagement with all of those rifles, the way he, it was smart of Freestyler to point that MG to the right, and they suppressed those rifles, and those rifles went down and crawled around for a little while, but guess what? They stayed there. And, that's just DevM. He's just smart. He knew that a ton more pressure was coming from the left. The MG had to pick up, try to point to the left, and when they did that, hey, suppression's broken. Rifles hopped back up on their feet, and they just jumped up on top of that position. They took out the MG, they took out the Schwim, they killed that first Volk squad. That was like the beginning of the end for Freestyler. Number one rule, don't lose squads, and he broke that rule in the first few minutes, and he I'm sure he knew, he could feel that this was not going his way right out of the gate. So that's game one. We are 1-0. DevM's allies, to be expected, just filthy good. Freestyler now has to show us that he can do the same with allies to even this up and push it to the third game. I'm going to toss this over to my friends CallMeSarge and Yoink, and I'm going to bust out the Christmas present that was given to me by my son's grandpa. It's a Jack Daniels whiskey set. I'm going to get in on that because, this is our New Year's show. We are, 26.5 hours or so left in 2012? So this is our party show. You can't blame us for anything that happens later today. All right, Sarge, you got to be back with Yoink. I'm going to take a break and go pour my whiskey glass, get my containers ready, and I'll see you guys if there's a game 3 or later. Stick with us, SNF fans. We'll be right back.
It's not far away from me, and to tell you what's